Welcome to Submission 1, a presentation of grammar by Jeanette Bang-Pedersen. Good morning, class! Today we are going to learn some grammar in English. We are going to talk about nouns. Noun is substantive in Norwegian, and you know a lot about it in Norwegian. But in English, some things are different. First of all, nouns tells us what someone or something is called. Nouns can be the name of persons, like Petter, Pia, Jonsen, or even your names in this class, like Christian, like Pernille, like Kariel. Noun can also be places, like Bø, Straume, Bodø, Norge, Galdhøpiggen, or even America, or things can also be a noun, like all the things around us. You have table, chair, pencil, the sun outside, car, everything. A noun can also be job titles, like bus driver, a doctor, carpenter, or a teacher, as I am. Qualities can be a noun, like courage, which means mot, å ha mot til å gjøre noe. Noun can also be actions, things you do, like laughter. When you are laughing after someone is telling you a good joke. Nouns also answers questions starting with who or what. Like these two examples. Who ate my pizza? Donald Duck did. What kind of a car did you rent? It is a Volvo. Now I want to check if you follow. Do you understand what a noun can be? To do so, I will hand out a paper with these 8 sentences. I want you to cooperate in pairs and underline each noun you can find in the sentences. When you are done, I want you to come forward to underline the nouns in 1 sentence each on our smartboard. I will read the 8 sentences for you before you start. Number 1. My sister is a nurse at the hospital. 2. After the concert, John and Betty drove home in their car. 3. Gina is watching the sun go down. 4. They put all the berries in a glass. 5. Tom showed a lot of courage when he saved the cat from the aggressive dog. 6. Who has slept in a tent this summer? Anja did. 7. I am listening to the radio. 8. I have a grey pencil and a red pen in my pencil case. So, now you have 3 minutes to finish this task. So, to repeat, a noun tells us what someone or something is called. We divide nouns into proper nouns and common nouns. A proper noun is used for a particular person, a place, a thing, or an idea which is or is imagined to be unique. A proper name is generally spelt with a capital letter. In English, they also use capital letter in forms of address and in months, days, seasons. We are going to see how that works, because this is different from the Norwegian language. We do not use capital letters for forms of address or for the name of our months and days and so on. So this is a big difference that you have to remember. Personal names like Anna, Peter, Johansen, President Trump, you see, they can be just with or without titles. Like president is also with a capital letter. Forms of address, examples for that could be mom, dad, aunt Peggy, uncle Peter. Geographical names could be like America, Japan, the United Kingdom, Norway of course, or local names like Straume, here we are today. It could be the names of organizations like the NATO or the BBC, or here in Norway we have NRK, like you know. It could be the names of places like Regent Street, Madison Avenue, here on Straume, Vinje, Skagaveien. And also, like I mentioned, months, days of the week, names of festivals, special occasions and seasons, like May, Thursday, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, and spring. These are all examples of proper nouns. A common noun is a noun that refers to people or things in general. Common nouns are written with lowercase letters. Here are some examples: girl, country, bridge, mountain, birth, table, pen, love, happiness, river. Again, it's time for practice. I will hand out a list of different nouns, and I want you to work in pairs to determine whether each noun is a common noun or a proper noun. Do so by writing your own list with proper nouns on one side and common nouns on the other. You will have another 3 minutes to finish this task. Let's move on. There are more to nouns. They could be countable or uncountable. Let's look at the countable nouns first. Countable nouns are those that refers to something that can be counted. They are normally used to refer to people, creatures, and objects. For example, doctor, cat, child, dog, car, elephant, mountain, game, etc. You can place numbers in front of them. You can count how many doctors there are, how many cats you saw on your way to school, how many children is in the playground today, or maybe how many cars drove past you on your way to school. They are countable nouns. But countable nouns can also refer to actions and events which can be thought of as separate individual things. For example, arrival, a crash, a goal, a lesson, mistake, a party, a problem, or so on. You can count your goals when you play football, can't you? And you can count how many lessons we have in a day at school, or how many mistakes you did on your last essay, for example. If a noun is countable, we can use a or an in front of them. Like, have you got a banana? Or an apple. A countable noun can be singular, entall, or plural, flertall. A cat, cats. Or it can be used in the question, how many? Like, how many dogs do you have? Oh, I have 2 dogs. We can also use numbers. He has 5 books. He has 4 pencils. He has 1 backpack. We can use some or any. She has some friends in school. Are there any ice cream left for me? I wish so. Uncountable nouns are the names of things we cannot count. They are used to talk about substances and materials. For example, we can have alcohol, chocolate, cotton, fur, ink, meat, paint, petrol, rice, salt, shampoo, soil, wool, etc. You cannot count the rice you're having for dinner or the salt you're putting upon it. Uncountable nouns can also be abstract ideas, qualities, and states. For example, like anger, bravery, education, evidence, freedom, honesty, ignorance, love, poverty, safety, etc. Uncountable nouns can also be activities, like the ones you are doing every now and then, like chess, jogging, photography, research, shopping, tennis, training, work, etc. If a noun is uncountable, we do not normally use a or an in front of it. We just say, sugar is expensive, not a sugar is expensive. There is sand in my shoes, not there is a sand in my shoes. Uncountable nouns do not normally have a plural form, also flertal. You cannot have an S ending on furniture, so you cannot say furnitures if there are more than one. It's the same word if there's one chair or there are more furniture. The word for both is furniture. Uncountable nouns can also be used in the question, how much? Like, how much water do you need? How much money do you have? How much does this car cost? Normally, we cannot use a number in front of uncountable noun. We cannot say 1 rice, 2 rices, like I mentioned earlier. We can use some or any. I have some questions for you. Have you got any dinner left? Now we're going to look at some contrastive points. Nouns that are uncountable in English and yet countable in Norwegian may confuse things for you as Norwegian learners of English. Here are some examples. First sentence. Tom did not take John's advice. Tom fulgte ikke rådene fra Jon. The money was on the table. Pengene lå på bordet. They had sold all their furniture. De hadde solgt alle møblene sine. So here you can see all the sentences in English. There are uncountable nouns, but all the sentences in Norwegian shows that they are countable in Norwegian. This is just something you will have to remember and to learn. We have now come to the end of this session, and we will end it with some tasks about countable and uncountable nouns. First, we're going to look at 3 sentences, and we are going to find out which alternative is correct. You get 3 minutes to finish these 3 sentences. 1. Can you give me a hand with my luggage, luggages, or baggages? Number 2. How many persons, peoples, or people were at the meeting? Number 3. We saw 3 mouse, mice, or mouses in the attic. Now you are going to use your iPad. You are going to find this link and decide whether the nouns in the sentences are countable. Then you write a C, or you choose the C. Or if they are uncountable, then you choose U. And when you are done, you can check your answers after you have finished. So then you are going to visit the web page for www.myenglishpages.com. The web page will look like this, and you can do your grammar exercise. So do the exercise below here, and countable and uncountable nouns, and click on the button to check your answers in the end. As you can see, there are 20 different sentences. Like the first one, the children are playing in the garden. So you are going to press on the little white box beside it, and then you can choose C for countable or U for uncountable. Then you do the same with all the 20 sentences and check your answers at last. Thank you for listening. I hope you have learned a lot about nouns today. Now, pack your bags and have a nice day.